Straight ahead on WBKB, a Greenbush man has been arraigned on several felony charges.
Plus, one organization says small businesses will suffer under the new health mandate, and we'll tell you the best time to buy big-ticket items for the big kids.
You are watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 6 starts now.
This is WBKB News at 6. An in-depth look at news, weather, and sports. From hard-hitting news stories to local events, we're there with coverage you can count on. You're watching WBKB News at 6.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Stewart.
And I'm Tyler Cruz. Attorney General Dana Nessel says a lawsuit filed by Texas Attorney General to overturn election results in Michigan and other states is a publicity stunt.
Nessel's statement comes after protesters gathered outside Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson's residence, demanding an election audit. Benson responded to individuals recently, saying their intimidation would not work.
They will not carry the day. I'm going to stand strong. My family is safe. I'm safe. And in addition to that, our democracy is safe, and it will prevail.
Secretary Benson also calls for any evidence of election fraud to be reported to her and the Attorney General.
And if there's any actual evidence, and it's been a month now since the polls closed, produce it and turn it over to our office and the Attorney General, which is the way evidence of any wrongdoing in an election is handled, so that there can be a full, complete investigation.
Today, the Michigan State Senate Oversight Committee met to investigate election operations in an attempt to certify a winner in the presidential election.
Well, the National Federation of Independent Businesses says it's not happy with the state health department's decision to extend the 3-week pause by another 12 days. The order will keep existing measures in place through December 20th. NFIB State Director Charlie Owen says nationally, 20% or 1 in 5 small business owners report they will have to close their doors if current economic conditions do not improve over the next 6 months. Owen says during this pandemic, consumers should have the right to decide whether they visit a business or not.
They should be able to go to an establishment, whether it's a restaurant, a bowling alley, whatever it is, and know that that owner of that establishment is taking the steps necessary to protect their health as well as the health of their employees. I think we talk about science, that's fine, but we need to know what those metrics are so that these industries can try to meet those and stay open.
The National Federation of Independent Businesses represents about 10,000 businesses in Michigan.
Well, a 47-year-old Greenbush man was arraigned in Alpena County District Court Tuesday morning and is currently being held on a $500,000 bond. Christopher Michael Kazmarek was arrested Friday, December 4th and charged with felonious assault, amongst other charges. Deputies were called to a home in Mankato Township after reports of Kazmarek pointing a gun at a resident, but he left before law enforcement arrived. Minutes later, deputies arrived at the scene of a one-car crash where they found Kazmarek running away and armed with a rifle. The sheriff's office executed a search warrant on Kazmarek's home in Greenbush the following day, where they recovered firearms, ammunition, and other weapons. The Alpena County Sheriff's Office says they are working with the FBI as the investigation remains open at this time.
Well, this holiday season, the Salvation Army is seeing significant success despite the pandemic, but still needs a helping hand. WBKB's Tiffany Maddox has more on what the organization needs from the community.
For the last few weeks, Major Preza Morrison of the Alpena Salvation Army has gone out to prep each red kettle setup throughout town. She says while she remains hopeful this holiday season, the times we live in have posed challenges for the organization.
Well, it's been a major change for us. Of course, we're used to being really close to the kettle, ringing the bell, used to saying hi to people and smiling to them and looking at them eye to eye.
Preza says that's changed the course for the number of volunteers ringing the bells during the holiday season.
And now, of course, everybody's required to wear masks, and they can stand by the kettle, but once someone comes towards the kettle, they're to move away from the kettle. Some kettle locations might have been inside previously, and now they can't because we feel the lobby is not the safe distance from people, so it makes it less personable than we'd like to.
So far, the organization has monetarily seen a successful red kettle season, but still needs volunteers to man local red kettle bell stations.
We really like to have volunteers, because when we have volunteers, it cuts down our expenses, and again, it helps us then provide the needs to the family.
Volunteers like Yvonne DeRocha, who have volunteered for years, say volunteering despite the pandemic was important.
No, we never second thought it at all, because this is our job.
Priza says she's certain she'll get the help she needs because Alpena always makes a way.
I really think that this community really comes alongside people.
In Alpena, Tiffany Maddox, WBKB News.
Thanks for that, Tiffany. And if you'd like to volunteer, you can call 989-766-3224. You can also make donations online.
Sounds good. As part of the state of Michigan's extension of the current epidemic order, the Alpena County Library is also making changes to its services. Starting Wednesday, the library is scaling back to phase 1 of its reopening plan. The Alpena County Library will only offer touchless pickup of library items. According to library staff, library hours throughout the county will remain the same. For more information, please contact the Alpena County Library at 989-724-6796.
Well, it's that time of year where parents are making a list and checking it twice for the little ones, but let's not forget about the toys for the big kids. We spoke with car buying expert Carl Brower, who says this is a great time for car buying. For Alpena drivers contemplating the purchasing of a new toy in the way of a car, you're in luck. A new study by iSeeCars.com says the holiday season is a top time of year for car deals. iSeeCars.com executive analyst Carl Brower says December 1st through the end of February are the best times for car purchasing. He says the winter months and holiday purchases work to the advantage of those wanting to buy a car. He also explains other factors.
And you also have car companies that are trying to maybe get rid of both new and used cars right in the middle of this winter time frame before the year changes over or shortly after it changed over, because every year, every car that exists gets a year older and they're losing value over time.
Brower says this is the time dealers work on getting rid of their year-end inventory. He says this is an exceptionally great time to buy a leftover 2020 car, and Brower also offers tips when negotiating.
Always have multiple options. If you can be flexible about things like color and options, and you can locate more than one vehicle that you're really interested in, now you've got the ability to leave the lot and know there's another option out there. And that gives you great advantage over being kind of at the mercy and feeling like this is the car I have to have.
And Brower recommends having your finances arranged ahead of time through a credit union or a bank. He says dealers will offer you their financing, and being prepared gives them something to compete with. Good advice.
Well, yeah, very good advice. Yeah. We got more news ahead for you on WBKB. Coming up, Michigan reaches a milestone in COVID-19 deaths. Well, here's meteorologist Ellie Morrison with a first check of the weather. How are we, Ellie?
Tyler, we're looking at cloudy skies this evening all across the area, and that's really going to continue over the next couple of days. There may be the odd hint of some sunshine, but really bank on seeing some cloud cover tonight and tomorrow. Currently cloudy in Alpena at 34 degrees, also 34 degrees in Oscoda, 33 in Gaylord, and 34 degrees, the popular number showing up in Rogers City. Tonight, temperatures staying pretty warm for this time of year in the lower 30s, even after midnight, gradually rising into the middle 30s. Tomorrow, we will have morning temperatures rising into the upper 30s, close to 40 degrees, and highs for tomorrow afternoon near 42 degrees. That's significantly above normal for this time of year. The warm temperatures will continue into Thursday. I'll have some updates on the potential of a late week storm system Friday and Saturday. Stay tuned for those details a bit later in the newscast.
Thanks, Ellie. Governor Whitmer has ordered U.S. and Michigan flags within the state capitol complex and on all public buildings and grounds across the state of Michigan to be lowered to half-staff for 10 days. The lowered flags represent 1 day per 1,000 Michigan deaths from COVID-19. Michigan residents, businesses, schools, local government, and other organizations are also encouraged to display the flag at half-staff. Right now, more than 1 out of every 1,000 Michiganders has lost their lives to this virus. Flags should be returned to full staff on Saturday, December 19th.
Well, coming up on WBKB News, Ellie Morrison is next with your 7-day forecast, plus the photo of the day. Stay tuned. And meteorologist Ellie Morrison is here with a look at our forecast. Ellie, what's happening?
Right now we have temperatures that are mostly in the lower to middle 30s and feels a little bit cool, but really above the norm through early December here. And as we go into tomorrow, we'll have some warmer temperatures moving in. It's 33 degrees in Alpena, 35 degrees in Harrisville, 33 in Mayo, and 34 degrees in West Branch. And compared to what we had yesterday, already doing a bit better with temperatures 6 degrees warmer in Alpena, also 6 degrees warmer in Oscoda, and 6 degrees warmer in Rogers City compared to 24 hours ago. Largely that's because the main wind direction here is coming out of the west-southwest, so that's helping to bring us some slightly warmer temperatures. That warming trend will continue tomorrow. Winds currently at 4 miles per hour in Rogers City. They've briefly become calm in Alpena, a little bit breezier in Oscoda at 13 miles per hour. So here's the big picture of the radar and satellite across the Midwest. Lots of cloud cover over much of the Great Lakes region. That's going to continue into tomorrow with mostly cloudy skies. There are a couple of light showers into parts of the UP, most of that likely to avoid our area. You will notice on the satellite imagery here some breaks in between the clouds there over areas to our west. That may happen, but overall the forecast is looking mainly cloudy. And then I'm keeping my eye on this storm system off the coast of California. It's going to move across the southwestern states, and by the time we get to Thursday, start gaining some strength over the Texas Panhandle. But for tonight, we have low temperatures near 32 degrees in Alpena, 31 degrees in Tawas City, 29 in Mayo. A milder night for tonight compared to what we had last night with cloudy skies overhead. For tomorrow, high temperatures near 42 degrees in Alpena, 44 in Tawas City, 43 degrees in Atlanta. A light breeze that will become out of the northwest around 10 miles per hour. And then as we go into Thursday, that storm system well to our south will be strengthening somewhere near the Texas Panhandle, but after that it's going to head up towards the northeast. Anywhere in this black shaded area is where the center of the storm could end up tracking. So by Friday, that could range anywhere from central Kansas towards the Missouri-Arkansas border. So we'll have to pay attention exactly where this storm ends up going, especially as we look towards Saturday. By Saturday, the center of the storm could potentially be anywhere from northern Illinois to areas of eastern Ohio. So exactly the track this storm takes will determine what we get for Friday and Saturday. If this storm system takes a track that ends up riding northwest of Alpena, so on the left-hand side of this potential track area, that would bring us predominantly rain late in the day Friday, continuing through Saturday, and then maybe a little bit of light snow Saturday night, less than 2 inches. That's if this storm system ends up tracking northwest of Alpena. But if the storm system ends up tracking to the southeast of our area, closer to the right-hand side here of the shaded region, that could bring us rain or a rain-snow mix late Friday. There's a chance that could even miss us to the south, but what it would bring is some significant snow on Saturday, potentially more than 4 inches. So exactly how much rain, how much snow we get late in the week, determined by that track of the incoming storm system. Tomorrow, highs near 42 degrees, a low of 28 early Thursday. We'll again have highs in the lower 40s, significantly warmer than normal for this time of year, staying dry through Thursday. On Friday, there's a low-end chance we could get some rain showers late in the day on Friday with highs near 41 degrees. And then I've lowered the forecast for Saturday, looking a bit colder, highs near 36 degrees. A chance of a rain-snow mix in the morning, transitioning to snow as we go through the afternoon and evening. Still a little bit uncertain exactly how much snow we get, but it looks like in the second half of Saturday, I would anticipate on seeing some snowfall. Then we'll have a chance of flurries early Sunday. We should see some clearing taking place later in the day Sunday, but notice those colder temperatures on the way early next week. Highs in the lower 30s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and a possibility of some flurries on Tuesday. Today's photo was sent in by Judy Black in the sunset from Lachine last evening. You can see the gorgeous fade from blue higher in the sky to shades of orange closer to the horizon. Thank you, Judy, for sending us this photo. If you have a photo such as nature shots, pics with friends, or interesting sights you see that you would like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@wbkb11.com.
So, snow potentially on the way.
Snow potentially on the way for Saturday. So as the week goes along, I'll have more updates. And as we get closer to that, as we head towards Thursday and Friday, those details will become a little bit clearer. But at this point, it looks like we have a chance of some rain late Friday, transitioning to snow at some point on Saturday. So could be some white weather as we go into the weekend.
Sounds like you got a busy week tracking the storm.
Yeah.
Does sound like a busy week, but I will say the next couple of days looking calm, so enjoy the dry weather and the warm temperatures. Some winning days for those who don't exactly like the winter chill.
Well, today's pets of the week are Dusty, Biscotti, and Gabrielle.
Our first pet today is Dusty. He is a year and a half old and has very striking eyes. An anonymous animal lover rescued him from a kill shelter in Texas and brought him up here to help him find a home. Dusty is a Catahoula pit bull mix who loves to play tug of war. He also loves chasing prey, and while this may make him a good hunting or work dog, it also means he won't do well in a house with cats. Next, meet Biscotti. At a year and a half old, Biscotti weighs 18 pounds, which is overweight for his age. He's currently on a diet of special food to get back down to a healthy weight. Biscotti is open to cuddling, but you need to take your time to get to know him. I bumped into something and spooked him during filming. Finally, let's say hello to Gabrielle. This girl loves to play and will chase anything that makes a noise. If she tries to climb you, you know you're in her good book. To learn more about adoption, visit HuronHumaneSocietyInc.org.
Well, Jake Vanderbrook has all your local sports stories coming up next. Sorry, I can't not laugh at those pets. But what's going on tonight, Jake?
Hey, Tyler, coming up next in sports, we have many area athletes that earned all-region for volleyball. Find out how many players made the list. Plus, I'll have an update on one of the biggest rivalries in college football between Michigan and Ohio State. Keep it here, because sports is coming up next. Recently, the Michigan Interscholastic Volleyball Coaches Association released their all-region teams from the 2020 season. Last year, a total of 16 area athletes made the all-region team. This year, that number went up to 19 area volleyball players. Now, many of these athletes who earned all-region remain on the list for this year. However, we have some new athletes that we're on. Take Alcona's Lily Bilby, for example. The senior had a spectacular season. She finished with 220 kills, 220 digs, and came away with 24 blocks. Those stats also earned her a spot on the North Star League's first team all-conference team. For Lily, going into her senior year, she wasn't so sure she was going to get the chance to play her final season due to COVID-19. But overall, she's very thankful that she got to play her last volleyball season at Alcona High.
Really scared at the beginning when we were playing outside for practice. I wasn't sure we would even have a season. I'm just really thankful we got to finish out our season. That's the main thing for me, but it's really a great feeling. I'm thankful for my coach. She's helped me since 6th grade.
Congrats to all of our area volleyball players who earned all-region honors. To see the list, head to our website, WBKB11.com. Michigan and Ohio State is one of the biggest rivalries in all of college football. Hands down. This Saturday, the Wolverines would have played their 103rd meeting against the Buckeyes down in Columbus, but it won't happen this year. Tuesday, Michigan announced that the Wolverines were forced to cancel Saturday's scheduled game due to an increasing number of positive COVID-19 cases within the program. What's crazy about this is that they were going to be without 45 of their players, and that includes injuries and positive COVID-19 cases. So what does this mean for Ohio State? It means a lot. Now, the Buckeyes are ineligible to play the Big Ten championship game because they didn't play 6 games. They only played 5. For Ohio State head coach Ryan Day, he really wants the Big Ten to reconsider their policy.
If we don't quite get the games we need to get into the championship game, then I think that needs to be looked at hard, just like anybody else in the conference. But there's no easy solution in times like this. So, I know those guys are going to come together and take a hard look at it and make sure that it was the right decision.
Yeah, we will see if the Big Ten Conference changes their 6-game policy. It will be interesting to see down the stretch if the Buckeyes will be one of the 4 teams that will make the college football playoffs. Now, switching over to the ice, Michigan returns to their home ice this evening, and this will be a very good test for Mel Pearson and the Wolverines as they battle the Minnesota Gophers, who are now ranked 4th In all of college hockey, last week the Gophers dominated at Munn Arena, beating the Michigan State Spartans 2-0. For Wolverines head coach Mel Pearson, he wishes the fans were in the stands for this one, but with COVID-19 happening, no fans are allowed, so they'll have to bring more energy in this series.
We have to make sure we're ready for Minnesota and that we bring our game to them. I wish we had our children of Yost and our fans and our band in here to really make it intimidating, but we're going to have to create that own atmosphere as much as we can on our own.
Yeah, so no fans, even though they have home ice advantage rather. Puck drop is scheduled for 8 p.m. and we'll have highlights later tonight at 11 o'clock. Don't go anywhere. Next on WBKB News, we'll have your eye on entertainment.
Well, we are out of time for entertainment tonight, folks. You can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on other news items online.
Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night.
Or be sure to check us out on our Facebook page and Twitter handle at WBKB11.
And that's all we have for you this evening. Be sure to catch us back here tonight at 11 for more. Have a great evening.